In activity-based costing, we're going to be using some different types of allocation bases. A traditional costing system is going to rely mostly on the volume of production. In activity-based costing, we're going to use 5 different levels of activity. And largely these don't relate to the volume of units produced, except for the first one, which is at the unit level. So these costs occur every time we produce a unit. The batch level, these costs occur every time we set up a batch to be run. Doesn't matter how many units we're running, we always have to do the same setup at a batch level activity. For a product level, it doesn't really matter how many units or how many batches. These are costs that are associated with a product, regardless of how many runs we do or how many units we produce. It also would be beneficial maybe to have costs at the customer level, so you know what each customer is costing you. And then we have all these other costs, which we're going to refer to as organization sustaining costs. We're going into more detail about each one of these next. Unit level activities are performed each time a unit is produced. It's proportional to the number of units produced. So we could calculate the amount of power needed to run production equipment. And the more units you produce, the more power you're going to need. At a batch level activity, this is performed each time a batch is processed, and it doesn't matter how many units are in the batch. Placing purchase orders, it doesn't matter how many units are involved in that. There's the activity of placing the order is what we're talking about. Setting up equipment, arranging for shipments. Once again, these don't matter how many units are involved. You still have to set up the batch to be run. At the product level, this relates to specific products. And this is independent of batches or units. Product design. Each product needs to be designed. We don't know how many batches we're going to run, we don't know how many units are going to be produced, but there are costs associated with the design of a product. Each product is going to have its own advertising. And many times a product will have its own manager and the staff associated with that product. At the customer level, these relate to specific customers, so sales calls, catalog mailings, or general technical support that's not tied to any one product. If we go out to specifically repair a product or go give training on a product, that would be product level. These are just related to general technical support that's not specific to any one product. And then the last category is this organization sustaining activities, and these relate to activities that are carried out regardless of customer product batch runs or units produced. So heating the factory is going to happen no matter what product it is, what customer, how many units, or how many batches. Cleaning executive offices, computer networking, arranging for loans. There's a whole myriad of different activities that are going to fit into this organization sustaining activities category. You might even want to call it the other category.